The screech of metal on metal, a sound like a dying animal. The F train tears through the darkness beneath Manhattan, swaying and shuddering, a steel coffin hurtling through the veins of a city that never sleeps. New York City, 1971, 2:47 a.m. The subway car is empty. Almost. Fluorescent lights flicker on, casting everything in a sick yellow glow. Graffiti covers every surface like wounds. The smell of urine seeps from the floor. Rust, sweat, something human and afraid. A man sits alone in the corner. Gray suit, black tie, newspaper open in his hands. The New York Times, folded with surgical precision. He reads as if he is in a library, as if the world outside does not exist, as if the rattling of the train is nothing more than wind through leaves. This is Bruce Lee. He is returning from a meeting with a Hollywood producer. Another meeting that went nowhere. Another door closed in his face. "We love your screen test, Mr. Lee, but American audiences aren't ready for an Asian lead." The words still echo. But he has learned to let echoes fade. The opinion of others is not my concern. The thought moves through him like breath. My concern is the next breath, the next page, the next moment. Nothing else exists. The train stops. 14th Street Station. The doors open with a pneumatic hiss, the exhale of a mechanical beast. Footsteps. Laughter. The wrong kind of laughter. Sharp. Hungry. The sound of young men looking for something to break. 6 of them enter the car. Leather jackets. Chains hanging from belt loops. Boots that have kicked in doors and faces. One carries a baseball bat. Wood. Cracked. Stained with something dark. Another has something in his hand that catches the flickering light. Metal. Small. Sharp. They spread out like wolves entering a sheep pen. 2 block the doors at either end. The others move down the aisle, checking under seats, looking for prey. Their voices bounce off the metal walls, profanity and bravado, the language of men who have never been truly afraid. Bruce Lee does not look up. He turns a page. The leader sees him. Tall. Gaunt. A scar running from his left eyebrow to his jaw. A river of dead tissue carved by someone who did not finish the job. His eyes are empty. Not cruel. Just empty. The eyes of a man who stopped feeling years ago. He sees the Asian man in the gray suit, the expensive watch, the leather shoes, the stillness. He sees money. He sees weakness. He sees a victim. He does not see Bruce Lee. No one ever does. Not until it is too late. The leader slides into the seat next to him. Close. Too close. The smell of cheap whiskey and cheaper cigarettes fills the space between them. A click. A switchblade appears. The tip presses against Bruce Lee's ribs, just below the 7th, just above the liver. A killing spot, if you know how to push. Wallet. Bruce Lee turns another page. Now Chinaman. I won't ask twice. The train lurches. The lights flicker off. 1 second. 2. When they return, nothing has changed. The blade is still there. The gang is still watching. The Asian man is still reading. But something in the air has shifted. The temperature has dropped. The shadows seem deeper. Bruce Lee folds the corner of his page, slowly, precisely, marking his place. He speaks without looking up. There are 6 of you. The blade is cold. Even through the fabric of his suit, Bruce Lee can feel it, a point of ice pressing against his 7th rib. 1 inch of pressure. That is all it would take. 1 inch, and the steel would slide between the bones, puncture the liver, end everything. He does not flinch. He turns another page. I said wallet, Chinaman. You deaf or just stupid? The other gang members close in, a circle forming. Bruce Lee counts them without looking. Footsteps, breathing patterns, the creak of leather, the clink of chains. 6 bodies, 6 heartbeats, 6 problems. Internal monologue, confined space, 12 feet by 6, handrails, poles, straps. The train is moving, no stops for 90 seconds. They cannot escape, neither can I. But I do not need to escape. I only need to flow. One of them laughs, a high, nervous sound. Maybe he doesn't speak English. Hey, Ching Chong, you understand? Money. Give. Now. Bruce Lee folds the newspaper, slowly, crease by crease. He sets it on his lap. His hands rest on top of it. Visible. Empty. Still. There are 6 of you, he says. His voice is calm, conversational. The voice of a man discussing the weather. In approximately 45 seconds, this train will reach the next station. The doors will open. I suggest you exit there. Silence. Then laughter. All of them now. The sound fills the car, bouncing off metal walls, mixing with the screech of the rails. The leader presses the blade harder. A bead of blood forms beneath Bruce Lee's shirt. He does not react. "You're funny, Chinaman, real funny. But here's the thing." He leans closer. His breath is hot, rotten. "We're not going anywhere, and neither are you. Not until we get what we came for. Hong Kong, night." He lost. Badly. "Sifu, how do I fight when I am surrounded?" Ip Man set down his tea. "You think like a rock, Siulung. A rock resists the river. And in time, the river wears it to nothing." He walked to the window. "Watch the rain. Be water. When surrounded, do not see 6 enemies. See 6 obstacles. Water does not fight rocks. It flows around them, uses their weight against them, finds the cracks they do not know they have." His eyes were ancient. In the end, water is still flowing. The rocks are dust. The lights flicker. Off. 1 second. 2. When light returns, Bruce Lee's eyes have changed. The gang members feel it before they see it. A shift in the air. Something that was sleeping is now awake. The leader's grin falters. 45 seconds. Bruce Lee repeats. 30 now. Or what? The leader's voice is louder, trying to fill the space his confidence left. "You're outnumbered. Knife in your ribs, nowhere to go." Bruce Lee looks at him. For the first time, directly at the leader. Not the blade, the man. The leader sees something in those eyes. Something that tells him, in a voice older than language, he has made a terrible mistake. "I have everywhere to go," Bruce Lee says. "You are the one trapped." "Bullshit." The leader pulls back the blade. "Kill this." Bruce Lee's hand moves. Not fast. Instant. The newspaper disappears. His fingers close around the leader's wrist, stopping the blade mid-air, as if time itself is frozen. The leader's eyes go wide. "You were warned." The lights go out. Darkness. Total. Complete. The kind of darkness that has weight, that presses against your eyes like fingers. And in that darkness sounds a crack. Bone meeting metal. A scream that cuts off too quickly. The clatter of a switchblade hitting the floor. The lights flicker back. The leader is on his knees. His wrist bends at an angle. Wrists are not meant to bend. His mouth is open, but no sound comes out. Shock has stolen his voice. Bruce Lee is standing. When did he stand? No one saw him move. The newspaper is gone. His hands are empty. His suit is still immaculate. "Get him!" someone screams. The 5 remaining gang members attack at once. In an open space, numbers are power. In a subway car, at 2 a.m., numbers are a death sentence. Internal monologue. They think they are wolves, but wolves know how to hunt. These are not wolves. They are blind men, swinging at shadows. And I am the shadow. The one with the baseball bat swings first. A horizontal strike aimed at Bruce Lee's skull. Enough force to kill. Bruce Lee drops. Not down, through. His hand catches the overhead pole. His body swings like a pendulum. The bat whistles through empty air and connects with the man behind him. A wet crack. A howl. 1 down. The lights flicker off. Sounds in the darkness. A grunt, the rattle of chains. A body hitting seats. Lights on. 2 more are down. One clutches his throat, gasping. The other is tangled in the hanging straps, spinning slowly like a puppet with cut strings. His eyes are open, but seeing nothing. 3 left. One lunges with a chain. Bruce Lee does not retreat. He steps into the attack. His hand guides the chain past his neck, an inch, no more, and wraps it around the overhead pole. He pulls. The man's own momentum becomes his enemy. He flies forward, face first into the metal pole. The sound is like a hammer hitting meat. The lights die again. This time, longer. 5 seconds. 10. An eternity of darkness and screaming. When light returns, Bruce Lee stands in the center of the car. His breathing has not changed. His tie is still straight. There is not a single wrinkle on his suit. Around him, wreckage. Bodies draped over seats. Limbs tangled in straps. The baseball bat lies broken in 2 pieces. The chain hangs from the pole, like a dead snake. Someone is crying. A high, childlike sound that does not match the leather jacket it comes from. The last 2 standing look at each other. 19, maybe 20, old enough to hurt people. Not old enough to understand what they just saw. They run, toward the connecting door, toward anywhere that is not here. Bruce Lee lets them go. A true warrior does not pursue a retreating enemy. The lesson has been taught. He turns to the leader. The man is still on his knees, still cradling his broken wrist, but his eyes have changed. The emptiness is gone. Something else has filled it. Something that looks like the beginning of understanding. The next station, Bruce Lee says, "Take your friends. Leave." The train begins to slow. Metal screams against metal. Light from the platform pours through the windows. Harsh yellow. The light of a world that does not know what just happened in this steel coffin. The leader looks up. His voice is a whisper. What? What are you? Bruce Lee considers the question. He has been asked before, by men with guns, by Hollywood producers, who could not see past his face. I am no one. Just a man who reads the newspaper. The doors open. The platform is empty. 3 a.m. The dead hour. The hour when New York City finally closes its eyes and pretends to sleep. One by one, the gang members crawl out. The leader first, cradling his wrist like a wounded animal, then the others, dragging each other. One limps on a swollen ankle, another spits blood and a tooth onto the concrete. The two who ran wait at the end of the platform. They do not help, they just watch. The leader looks back through the closing doors. The Asian man has not moved. Same seat, same corner, newspaper open, reading, as if nothing happened. The doors close. The train pulls away. They came looking for a victim. They found a mirror. Every blow returned to them. Every chain bound them. This is not my technique. This is the universe's. I am only the instrument. The train continues. Bruce Lee folds the newspaper, straightens his tie. Not a drop of blood on his suit, not a hair out of place. The next stop is his. The doors open. He steps onto the platform. An old man sits on a bench, black, weathered, the kind of face that has seen 70 years of midnight trains and learned not to ask questions. A brown paper bag rests beside him. His eyes are tired but sharp. He looks at Bruce Lee, then at the train pulling away behind him. Through the windows, he can see the empty car, the hanging straps still swaying, a broken baseball bat on the floor, something dark staining one of the seats. Bruce Lee stops. I saw 6 men get on at 14th. Big men, mean-looking. The old man pauses. His voice is careful. I heard things. Through the walls. Screaming. Bruce Lee looks at him, then back at the train, disappearing into the tunnel, taking its secrets with it. Nothing happened, he says. Just a long ride home. He walks toward the exit. His footsteps echo in the empty station. The old man watches him go, watches until the gray suit disappears up the stairs, into the night, into the city that will never know his name. The gang members never reported what happened. Who would believe them? 6 men, armed with chains and knives and baseball bats, beaten by a small Asian man who never left his seat, who read a newspaper while he destroyed them, who did not even bother to stand up. But they told the story, in whispers, in warnings, in bars and back alleys and holding cells across the city. Don't take the midnight train through Chinatown. Why not? There's a ghost who rides it, wears a gray suit, reads a newspaper, looks like nothing, looks like no one. So if you try him, if you test him, you'll wish you never got on. The legend spread, block to block, borough to borough. The man was never identified. The police never filed a report. The MTA never found anything unusual. But those who knew, the ones who had trained with him, fought beside him, watched him move like water through a world made of stone. They knew. Some men fight to prove they are strong. Bruce Lee fought to prove nothing at all, and that is why he never lost. The F train still runs. Every night, 2:47 a.m. Some nights, they say, if you sit in the last car and look closely, you can see a man in a gray suit, corner seat, newspaper open, reading, waiting, for what? No one knows. No one wants to find out.